Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Tim and Andrew podcast. Thanks for listening as always, by the way. We really appreciate it. I have our socials linked down below, so if you want to connect with us or you want us to talk about anything specific, just let us know. We're also all over Spotify, YouTube, stuff like that, so be sure to check us out wherever you get your podcast from. All right? Cool. Enjoy the show. Bye-bye. I would hate it. I would hate it if
We
Austin
started
just
and then
yeah,
he
and then
walks in
Austin
the
just
door.
like ding ding ding, hello. All right, ready, Tim? Here's our welcome from 2 weeks back absence tap intro song. You ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Tap 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 ta 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 tap 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 ta 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 tap 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 tap
Yeah, this is
tap
too
tap.
easy. I got this.
Oh yeah.
It's the baddest.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Hey!
Maybe I did go a little easy on you there.
Warranted because I failed like
Yeah,
almost 2
yeah.
times.
I need
before
to
this.
gauge where the difficulty level is for you in terms of recognizing songs. Welcome back, everybody. This is Tap Podcast. Sorry
Yeah.
for missing an episode or missing a week. We just wanted to take a week off.
I
What's it
guess,
to
yeah.
you, Jesus?
Yeah,
anyways.
chill, guys.
Hey, guys,
Hello?
God. But welcome back. So Tim and I are both fully, I guess. I mean, I don't really I don't really know what to say. I mean, we're not really that changed. It's only been I feel like now after not seeing you from a week, like having a week off, it feels like we've experienced so many different things that I don't even know who you are anymore, you know?
It's
But-
that bad, huh?
But it's clearly not that bad. It's only been a week. But yeah, I don't know. How's your week been? How was your week away from us?
Well, it's not good. I mean, well, we were
Oh.
kind of. Well, okay. I feel. Actually, I think didn't we miss 2 weeks?
Did we miss 2
we
weeks?
did. We did. Because
Oh,
one
we
week I
only
was
missed 2
midterming,
weeks.
and then
Oh
and then
yeah.
the next week was
Yeah, right.
redacted. So,
Right.
yeah,
Oh
so-
man. Oh, okay. So it does. Okay. So it's I'm kind of justified in the sense that like I feel like
yeah, it
we've-
has been a while.
Well, okay. We'll just catch up really quick. What do we? Oh yeah. Okay. Dance teams. So, announcement right off the back, right off the top here. Tim and I both made our dance teams that we were talking about last episode.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Way to go. Yeah.
Wow.
It feels kind of weird just celebrating, like saying way to go to each other or just ourselves.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Tim.
I'm so good at dancing.
Yes,
No,
yes, you are. I mean, you have the badge of honor to show, like you have the title to show for it now.
master dancer and Mr. K-pop over here.
Oh,
as
thank
well.
you. Yeah, I am
Okay.
Mr. K-pop.
You are the king
I
of
am, I
K-pop.
am Mr. K-pop. I've legally changed my name to
Agreed.
Mr. First name, last name, middle name K, hyphenated pop.
Yikes.
It's a yeah,
valid.
it's a,
Valid.
I don't know. It'll be a transition. You know, I got to change my social security anyways. But yeah, but congratulations. I wanted to talk about, oh,
Yeah.
is he here?
Yeah, he is.
God damn. Okay. So Austin's here. We started because we thought he wouldn't be here for a while, but he's here now. So I'm going to go get him. And Tim, you're just going to entertain everybody for like 10 seconds. I'll be right back.
Hello. My God, they were roommates. So I guess I can take this time to plug my socials. Obviously, I have an Instagram. It would be tim.pack, at tim.pack. Follow me. I haven't posted in like a year and a half, but like honestly it doesn't matter because it's not like anyone takes pictures of me anyways. I don't know why, because I'm pretty photogenic, but you know, it is what it is. But you know, life is hard. I mean, but yeah, follow me on Instagram. I was just plugging my socials.
Oh, I do that at the beginning of every episode.
No, like, wait, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Like my socials.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair. Okay. Fair.
At Tim Pack Lit version as well.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
Isn't that your spam account?
It is. Don't
Okay.
follow it. My mom has tried to follow me on that 5 times. I have
And why don't you just
rejected
let her
her
in?
5 times.
Oh, because it's the lid version.
Yes.
Okay, your mom's not lit enough to, whatever. It's
I
okay.
mean, we'll get
anyways,
into
what
that.
were we talking about again? The dance teams. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you want to say hi to Austin? I feel like you didn't get a chance to.
Hey, Austin.
Okay, cool.
Maple Story sucks. You okay? Whatever.
Yeah. So dance teams.
we're gonna get into
I don't know.
this.
We gotta like readjust. But yeah, I'm really excited to be on that team. I tried out last year. I didn't make it, and then now I'm on the team, and now it's sort of this feeling of, yay, like
Accomplishment.
all the all the practicing and the year away from the team and trying to get better was kind of like justified and validated, and
Yeah.
in a sense, making a team. I don't know if you feel like this, but to me, making a team makes the hobby justified in its own way.
Yeah.
Because you could say, I dance for fun and I dance casually, and like you could say you're a good or bad dancer or whatever. But I feel like for me, being on a team is the justification for it. You know, it's not. I don't know if it's a clout thing. It could be like that, but also it's a sense of I don't have to prove myself anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just sort of, this like, hello, my name is, and then UBCK wave.
Andrew Wong
Andrew,
of UBCK wave.
But it's like it's just one of those things where now I in a sense the pressure is off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's something to do with how I'm thinking about myself and like my own self-confidence or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like that's how I feel about it. Do you feel like that or no?
Oh, wait. I want to talk about you first.
Okay.
So I feel like I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because it does kind of justify all of the stuff that you've been doing to this point.
Or even dance as a hobby.
Yeah. Dance as a hobby. I feel like you also did a lot of work for them as well, like filming
true.
and stuff. Like you've been around the team.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I don't know if, in hindsight, I don't know if that was to schmooze them or not. But let's just say it wasn't.
Subconsciously.
You know?
But no, I don't mean it as schmooze, but like you kind of learn more about the community.
Oh yeah, fairly, and got closer to the people on the team. True.
Exactly. And then when you approach it, I feel like you have a different method of approaching it than someone that's fresh, like you last year. So my question is, in terms of your audition, what do you think in the past year has led to this point of you improving so that you can make the team? You know what I mean? So like in the past year, you've done a bunch of things I won't get into. You can get into that.
Okay.
What do you think has improved you to this point where, okay, now I'm K-Wave. I'm good enough?
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. The K-pop element of it, I'm not as big of a stan or like in the stan culture as much as I used to be. I think last year was definitely, I was more in it. I was listening to K-pop in the car more often, and keeping up with the comebacks and the debuts and who's doing what in the stan Instagram, stan Twitter culture, But after not making it, I don't know what it was, but and I think every K-pop fan goes through this. Like they have like this drop off where they're not too interested in what's going on in like that like that microsphere of a world anymore, and they're like, it's a trend and it moves forward without you sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of K-pop, I don't think I got more invested into the actual music and the actual dance and stuff like that in order to get better. But I do think in terms of just dancing on my own, I think I've learned a lot coming from just fresh off of the first edition in last year to now.
Right.
Just because, being a part of a club that's in dancing and learning like basic terminology and almost finding my own style a little bit more.
Yeah.
I find I'm definitely more of the type of guy that prefers like the I don't know how to describe it, but like Super Junior Black Suit or Six Movie Star, like very suave-esque dances. You know what I mean? Like where it's very it's smooth and it's sort of like button-up shirt and like
kind of
loafers kind of dance.
Like
not necessarily like not like hip hop, but more of a gentleman's dance. That's the way I would put it. And then I think the year away allowed me to sort of find what I was into more in terms of dance, and then just get better in general. Like we took, Lauren's friend. We took that class.
Oh
with him, right?
yeah. With Reed.
Yeah, that guy. And then stuff like that, and mind you, a lot of those people who took that class ended up on teams, like right. So which was nuts. But yeah, I think just learning more and training, I guess, in a sense, and just like getting more involved in the dance part of it, not necessarily the K-pop of it all, because like coming down to the edition, I spent like the month before just learning random K-pop dances just to like practice like memorizing stuff. And I don't think you could have just done that with any type of dance. I don't think it had to be K-pop necessarily.
Right.
But now that I'm in K-wave, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the genre itself helped me too much. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah. How about you? Because I know your team is more of a training team, right?
Right.
And you're expected to get better throughout the term rather than like you start at a level and you need to prove that you're at a certain level and then get on the team.
Yeah.
But it's more like they see like the growth potential and stuff like that. So
in
terms of your team, how do you think it differs from something like mine?
I think it differs in that I think essentially the goals are different.
Okay.
So like I think if you're on K-Wave, at least from how I see it, the goal is to perform and like to like have a certain level. Like I want to be, let's say in a video or in like a concept or something like that.
Sure.
So you're training to perform. But for me, I'm training to get better at certain skills. At least that's the way I'm approaching it. Is like I'm on this team because I'm not performance ready. I'm not good enough for that.
Okay.
So I want to get better. So like,
do you have like, is performing on the roadmap for you at one point?
I mean, I think performing is really fun. And I learned that when I was in the shows that we were in and like just being a beginner and performing in those.
Yeah.
I thought it was hella fun.
Right. Oh, well, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we both hit levels where it's like, oh, we're like pretty good beginners. Like we're pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
we're not like good. You know?
There are others that were in that same show that like, I want to be them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
So that's my perspective. And I guess I can kind of relate it to K-pop as well. When I used to watch K-pop music videos, I'm like, that level of dance is unattainable for me. So I would be like, oh, that's cool, but I would never do that. Like I would never try.
It's just like it's a whole nother world of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a whole other echelon. But now, like I want to say through the stuff that I've been doing, like training and dance and like you said, learning the moves and whatever, when I watch the video, I can kind of break it down and be like, I know that move or like a variation of that move. So like, let's say, because their K-pop idols are super good at basics. Like their basics are like snap, snap, snap. Like it's almost reflex. Like Taeyong from NCT can hit like a wave.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing, right?
Yeah, dude, just pick any of the NCT members except maybe like the vocalist.
Exactly. Right. So that's kind of like the way I'm approaching it is like I want my basics to be so good that when I look at a piece, I can use those skills and be like, I can work it out and I can mentally put it together.
Or you could break it down a dance and be like, oh, this looks pretty easy, or this looks pretty challenging. Right.
Yeah.
You can sort of divide them. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. That's true.
So I think that's the approach. It's different. I think you are at the stage where, and I think like what I was alluding to is your year of training as a dancer prepared you to approach K-pop dances differently. So, which is why, like, when you learn the moves, like, oh, I don't know, kickball change or like a wave, you know, and then like when you take those skills and you apply to K-pop, you look different from the people that just watch K-pop videos and learn the dance, because they don't actually know the moves.
I 100% agree with that.
So you know, So I think you're different in that you have
built different.
Exactly, you are actually built different.
Just
you have
built different, bro.
A different set of skills. That's the difference.
I know, I agree with that. That's a really good way of breaking it down. I think there's a lot to say that separates like the people who just watch the covers and stuff like that and trying to emulate the moves, or the people's like, oh wait, it's actually this move, but they like some of them mess it up, or some of them like don't do it all the way through, right? Or some of them aren't that clean with it, right? So I think you're right that there is a huge difference in that. And also just taking the audition again. Yeah. It's just like, because I went in with the thing is like, if I don't make it this year, it just wasn't meant to be. And having already been in that environment once already, I was like, okay, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, I guess, you know? Exactly. So, but yeah, wow, that was a really good breakdown of it. I did not think you were gonna, wow, that blew my mind, man. Yeah, that, I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
You've gotten a lot better though.
Oh, thank you.
You did it, man.
I think
you did it.
And I think this year for you is gonna be like beyond. I mean, obviously it's online and stuff like that, but I feel like it's gonna get there.
That's the hope. You know, that's the hope.
Well,
Yeah.
I would put a lot of stock into that. I would invest in that a lot.
Yeah.
Just from one friend to another. I think you're gonna be great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. But that brings us to another thing that I wanted to talk about because and then there's a third thing that's kind of unrelated, but we're doing like a Halloween thing for K-Wave. Like we're dressing up in costumes, right?
Okay.
Also next week is Halloween. So stay tuned because Tap is coming with perhaps a little surprise, and you're just gonna have to tune in, especially to the video, if you want to see the surprise. All right, so that's our little tease for next week. Tune in next week, everybody. It's gonna be a special one. I guarantee you.
It's gonna be actually really high.
But yeah, so we're doing like this Halloween thing, okay? And we're dressing up in costumes. We're doing like a spoof video and stuff like that. But I'm organizing my costume for it, and I realize that I'm putting a lot of time and effort into it, and I really want to make sure the costume in and of itself, which by the way is gonna be the same for our thing. So don't watch the video.
Okay.
Because it has to be a secret.
Oh, damn it.
Because
Okay,
I want you to be
fine,
really
fine.
surprised
Okay.
when you see it. Okay?
Okay.
But yeah, to hype myself up a little bit more, I'm putting a lot of effort into this costume, and I think I've started to realize that it's becoming more than just dressing up for Halloween. Like it's almost
okay.
like a dark, repressed dream of mine to cosplay. And
Oh, yikes.
I know, right? And I wanted to get your take on this because it's weird. It's so weird. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like the talent that it takes to put together a costume is one thing, but to actually make it good and realistic is another.
Yeah.
And the people that go to like San Diego Comic-Con and dresses like the full size Master Chief or Ezio or like you know those things where it's those memes that are like, if there are no social norms, boys would dress like this, and it's like a picture of Ezio from Assassin's Creed and like a knight in shining armor. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly
Yeah,
what you're
right?
talking about.
So I know like Darth Vader or something, or like a Jedi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like maybe growing up, just like we mentioned last week, like LARPing and all that stuff. It's sort of ingrained to me that I want to embody these characters.
Okay.
Not necessarily like get in the headspace for it and think that you got protagonist syndrome or something like that. No, it's not like that. I'm just saying like I want to dress up as a character and look cool because most of the characters are superheroes or some sort of hero of sorts, right?
Yeah.
That have a certain moral compass and you want to embody that, right?
Right.
That's why people like the Superman stance, like if you like those like CEO mentality things where like if you wake up in the morning and you do the Superman pose, you'll feel better and stuff like that, and you stuff like that. But getting back to the cosplay thing, it's like I've already invested so much into that costume, and even like with other ones too. I mean, I have the Han Solo replica prop right there.
Right.
It's sitting right there, and I have a leather jacket that looks like Han Solo's from 7. Right. So in my head, I was like, if I didn't have this other costume, I would just be Han Solo. Right. And I have the holster and everything that goes on like the thigh and everything. So I don't know. Like, do you ever have that feeling, or is it just me? Am I just crazy?
I don't think you're crazy. I mean, I feel like there's certain extents to people, like how much they want to embody the character. Like for me personally, like I want to say when I was little, that was like I was definitely like in that mindset, like like Darth Vader. I wanted to be that man. Like some people want to be like other things, like I don't know, they want to be like their dads, they want to be heroes, they want to be whatever.
I didn't know where you were going with their dads when you started that, so my eyes like kind of like went up and I was like, huh? But because I didn't know your
my dad is Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. You guys must have a really great relationship.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, some people want to be I wanted to be Darth Vader.
Right.
So like I definitely understand where you're coming from, like being, and I feel like it's different because we kind of grew up with certain characters and whatnot. Like, obviously I don't know who you're cosplaying. That's the surprise.
That's the surprise.
But I think there's a certain level of engagement that is different, especially with characters that we love so much. Like
Yeah.
for you, like that would mean like, oh, getting like a gun that looks like a replica of Han Solo's like gun, and then
Mhm.
getting like a holster and the jacket, whatever.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Maybe I like these characters so much because sometimes I want to pretend like I am them.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, not like identify as I don't identify as Han Solo or Master Chief or whatever, but like when you watch cutscenes from a video game
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
that you want to imagine that like
Me.
that could have been like I could, like what if that was me doing that, you know?
Oh, okay. I have the weirdest story. I feel like it's appropriate here.
Okay.
So I guess growing up, obviously I wanted to be Darth Vader
Yeah.
and whatnot, but there was one thing that I really wanted to be, and it's
Okay.
weird.
Okay, let me have it. Listen, I've already come out to you about LARPing and stuff like that. There's no way. There's no way it
Okay,
could be
yeah.
weird.
So mine was I wanted to be one of those pilots in Star Wars who dies.
Oh,
So
wait,
I want to
what?
be like the guy in the plane who's like, I'm hit, and then like sets
And then,
on
like-
fire and then
like,
crashes.
into the Death Star.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I
when
want to
they're doing
be
the
that
trench run?
guy. Like
Why do
I've
you wanna
always
be that guy.
I've always visualized myself in that role because in my mind I'm like I would never be an actor. So the only time I would be able to be in a
Like
movie
if
like
you
that.
knew J.J. Abrams and he put you in
Yes.
the film as one of the I'm hit.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then-
hit, and then up, and then they die, right? So that's my caliber of acting. I could do that very convincingly. J.J. Abrams, please put me
in the
in the
next
film.
sequel, I guess.
in whatever movies. I will die in anything. I will die in a TIE fighter. I will die in an X-wing.
Well, they are bringing back. We'll get into it, but they are bringing back the High Republic, which is before
Oh,
the
okay.
New Republic. You know what I mean?
We will get into that later. I'm excited about that.
So, but anyways, I mean, fan films are a thing.
no. It has to be
a
like
genuine-
legit. Like
But have you seen some of the fan films?
I
online?
have. Yeah,
they're
they
good.
are really crazy.
They're good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, and I guess like would you be able to? How about like in a third party media, like in Mandalorian? Would you settle?
Oh,
for that?
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, anything
So as
that
long
is
as
within.
something that makes you canon.
Yes. Yeah, me canon, but it has to be me as a fighter pilot dying. Like I cannot be canon. I don't want to be an extra like stormtrooper. I don't want to be any of that. I want to be the
Oh, there
guy
has to be,
who
like, a-
shows up for 2 seconds, gets shot, and dies.
And then you build your own lore, like your backstory.
Yes.
And then that's your only time that you've seen on screen, and then
It would
dying.
be so insane. Like I was watching Force Awakens because that was
Yeah.
the first film that I could actually
Uh-huh.
watch in theaters. First Star Wars film that I
Okay,
could
yeah.
watch in theaters, and like I was just watching it, and like
You
there's,
mean,
like,
when they're
scene-
like at Starkiller Base.
yes, and there's like scenes where like there's pilots like checking in. There's like Red 2
Oh,
standing by.
yeah,
Or whatever. And I'm like,
yeah.
dude, that's me. Like I want to be that guy.
That's a weird like side character, like side role. I don't know, because I guess a lot of people either identify as the hero or the villain. So
Yeah.
it's weird to hear from you,
I'm a guy.
or just like you're just in between, like in the crossfire area.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's not necessarily like you're not even like in the main, like the leading roles, like roles
Yeah.
plural. Like you're not even like Finn or Poe or BB-8 or whatever. It's like just one of the dudes.
And I think it relates to what you were saying earlier about how like you want to be something.
Yeah.
When you do cosplay or whatever, like in my mind, I've always like I want to be the guy who flies the plane and like is part of this battle
Yeah.
or whatever.
No, it's totally
Yeah.
the same thing.
It's
though.
the same
It's
thing,
totally
right?
the same
Like
thing.
you
it's just a feeling of like being in the universe and in the world.
exactly, and you
Yeah.
visualize yourself in
Yeah,
that role.
yeah.
And I think that is
That's
like
100% what it
that's
is.
the deal breaker. Like I want to be
Mhm.
in there.
Yeah.
I don't care if I die. Like just being in that world would like mean so much.
It's true. But also, you and Austin winced up at when I said cosplay earlier. I
Yeah.
want to defend it for a second because people do really good cosplay.
There's nothing wrong with
There's nothing
cosplay.
wrong with it, but you guys physically like retreated when I mentioned cosplay. So I'm calling you out right now in the audio to make sure everyone understands that for me, cosplay is cool and it's dope, and when it's done right, it's amazing. Have you seen the people at like PAX West or PAX East, or like any of a con, or even at like at NALCS when we were here?
Yeah.
Like
mhm.
there are people who did cool stuff. I remember like a Garen and a Jinx and
Okay.
a Widowmaker, I think, which is weird because that's another game. But I don't even know if Overwatch was
Why was
out
there a
at that time.
Widowmaker there?
I don't even know. Anyways, but the
So
point
weird.
I'm trying to make is that when it's done right and it's done well, it's really like amazing, because not only did you have to like have the confidence to wear it,
Yeah.
but you also made it, and that's pretty cool too.
I agree with you. the reason I wince is because when people say the word cosplay, you
think of
think
the,
of
like,
a
the-
very specific type of person.
Oh,
Yeah, and I won't get into that, but you think of like weird cosplays.
yeah.
Or like
Well,
overboard.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. I think there's an evolution. I think you start weird and then it gets really good.
Yeah,
I think there's a character arc there.
Some really dope cosplays have like blown my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
anyways, moving on from that, we could talk about that for hours. But the last thing I had before we get into the news bit, and
Yeah.
also we're doing a bonus episode today. Tim and I are gonna be trying some Asian snacks, and doing sort of a hybrid like/dislike in a form of a tier list. So there's gonna be a bonus episode. So make sure you check that out. It's also because we missed like the last couple of weeks to
more
sort
content.
of, more content, give you guys more stuff.
Let's
So
go.
we're gonna be doing that. But the last thing I want to talk about, in terms of just like random stuff that happened between the two of us, or
Yeah.
outside of this podcast from the last couple of weeks, is that I was driving in like this just random like mall-ish center, super center or whatever, and on a stop sign, it had like this red sticker. This is a complete departure from what we were talking about before.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll get into like what I think this means. But there's like a stop sign, and then there's a sticker on the stop sign. Now it's very, very smart how these people did this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they had it was a red sticker, so it
Yeah.
blended in with the stop sign,
Okay.
but it had like white text to make it look like
part of the sign.
part of the sign,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It's not part of the sign.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it said exactly. And when I went to go check it again at the same center, it was
Mhm.
gone. Like it got ripped off.
Oh,
You could see
okay.
like the thing. So someone took it off clearly because they were mad about it. But the sticker, like the gist of it was like the animals that you eat create pandemics or something like that. Or it was like the animals that make you eat, or the animals that you eat also make you sick. And it was like a reference to like the pandemic and like COVID and stuff like that.
Oh.
So it was like a weird, bizarre, like a weird just reality check moment. I was like, oh, people actually like believe in this stuff and they put it up. Unless it was a joke, which in case I fell for it, and like, where are the cameras? Am I being duped right now?
yeah.
Right. But anyways, the point I was trying to make is that was just sort of like a tie-in story to what I really wanted to talk about, which was conspiracies or superstitions that you were told as a kid and still believe in. Like now.
Okay.
Right. Like, especially because we're both like Asian and Chinese, so obviously there's a lot of stuff that our parents tell us
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. So I want to know, like, maybe some stuff you were either told as a kid and don't believe anymore because they've been disproven, or maybe some things you still believe in, or whatever. It can be like from anything. Like it could be like lizards control the government, or Mark Zuckerberg is secretly like a lizard person. I don't know
mean,
why
that's
all
fact.
these are
That's
related.
fact.
That's
You
fact.
know that's confirmed, right?
Oh, why? Listen. Well, we don't.
Anyway.
It's one of, you know. Well, it could be anything. I don't know why lizard came up so often.
Yeah.
But, you
yeah.
know.
That seems kind of weird. Are you thinking about like cosplaying
My
a lizard or
eyes,
something?
I blink like this, like from bottom up.
Yikes. Okay.
Anyways, but do you have anything?
How about you go first, and then
Okay.
I'll go after you.
So a lot of them have to do with food, because I was a very chubby little boy, a little dough roll when I was a little boy. So a lot of them had to do with food and getting proper nutrients and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
My mom would always want me to drink soup, like certain types of soup, because they're like natural ailments.
Like Chinese soup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my mom never delved into Chinese medicine, but there was a lot of like stuff in regards to food that would make like milk makes you taller, or
Okay.
or there's another one too, like eating certain types of meats can help you grow.
Right.
Because also I have
Mhm.
we've talked about this, I feel like 1,000 times, but I have like a height complex. So and I think it comes from my mom because of the constant like nagging and stuff like that. But like, so eating certain types of food can help you grow taller and stuff like that. This
Like
is
meats that will make you tall. Like what meats?
like
examples.
bones. Like if you eat certain bone marrows,
Oh.
like beef bones or pork bone marrows or stuff like that.
Interesting.
There's been other ones too, but those are the ones that come like right off the top. Conspiracy wise, I like the tunnel theory.
What's the tunnel theory?
So,
Explain.
have you ever seen that picture of like the United States, where it's like the major tunnel systems across the United States, and then
Oh
like
yeah,
all
yeah, I
Jamaica
have seen
kidnapping,
those.
and they're like right on top of each other. I like to
Yeah, yeah.
imagine that's a, I like to imagine that's a thing, like tunnels or like stuff that's like stuff that's either around or like underneath you, or things that could be bunkers. Like you know how in Spiderman Into the Multiverse, like
Yeah.
you go into like the back shed and it just like a tunnel straight down
Oh
into like
yeah,
the
yeah,
spider
yeah.
cave. I like to imagine like things like that.
Whole network.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. Well, I feel like I grew up similar to you, where it was like those specific foods.
Okay.
A quick point on that. Actually, like as I'm growing and learning more about like nutrition and stuff, like
Uh-huh.
it's actually like a lot of the stuff actually makes sense.
Oh,
Like if
okay,
you think
really?
about like bone and bone marrow, like it's quite nutrient heavy.
Uh-huh.
So like if you consume more of those nutrients, like micronutrients like iron and like all that
Oh.
stuff, it actually
So it's
does
not entirely baseless.
it helps you be healthy. And being healthy makes you strong, and being strong means that you can grow faster.
Right.
So that in a way, yes, it can.
Uh-huh.
It's but there's also really dumb ones like walnuts make your brain bigger and like you become smarter.
I've
You know
never
why?
heard that one. That's
Because
crazy.
walnuts look like brains. That's literally the only
Wait,
reason
really?
why.
That's the only reason?
Well, I mean that I know of. Like it's just
Huh.
like I asked my mom. I'm like, "Mom, why do you believe this?" And she's like, "Well,
Because it's shaped like a
it's
brain.
just true."
It's
And I'm like, "It's literally because it looks like a walnut." And that's the only reason why people say that.
See, maybe in thinking that maybe your brain is the size of a walnut because you're not thinking big enough. Like maybe there's like this micronutrient that's within the walnut that it's just at the core of it. You know, think about it like that, Tim. You know,
Oh my god.
you are what you eat.
Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry I doubted you. I never doubted you, but yeah, like things like that, like nutrients, and then also like I feel like probably because you're Chinese, you've also like heard about like like some foods are like hot, and then some foods are like cold.
Wait, what? I don't
Did
understand.
you grow
that
up
at
with
all.
that? Austin, you know what I'm talking about? Like
I feel like you need
yeet
to explain it better.
hay? Yeah, like
Wait, what?
hot air, yeet hay. Have you heard? Well, you're not Kanto, so it doesn't. It's probably different.
Can
I
you
guess.
explain?
Because you're Taiwanese, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, like, there's a lot of different types of foods. It's based around the principle of like yin and yang. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a balance.
Okay.
So in the world, there's
Bro, I feel
fire
like
and
this
there's
is wait, so
water.
hold up. It just feels like a Master Oogway moment where like you're just bestowing this knowledge upon like
I mean,
am
I'm
the
not
dra-
saying I
am I the
believe
Dragon
this,
Warrior or something like that?
but this
I
is
could totally be Jack Black. Dude, am I the dragon? I'm not ready to be the Dragon Warrior.
Wait, this is the what is it? The scroll and the
Oh, the Dragon Scroll. The secret ingredient is just you. It's being yourself. That's what the movie's all about. Don't you understand him?
I
It's not because
love
he's a
that movie.
panda.
Yeah.
It's not because he's an endangered species. It's because he's being himself.
Oh,
That's all that matters.
Oh, it's
Anyways.
so riveting.
So, anyways, back to you, Master Shifu.
But yeah, so there's like a balance. So
Okay.
there's certain foods that, or there's like damp and there's dry.
Okay.
So
I realized. Sorry, one more thing. Could you turn the sign on? We forgot to turn the sign on today. I'm sorry. It's right there.
we're finally on the
we're
air,
live.
guys.
Now we're
Took
live.
us a while, but we're actually on
Sorry,
air.
yeah. 32 minutes in and we're live. Okay, sorry. Anyways,
Now. Oh, but
sorry. No,
okay.
that's
Yeah.
the last time I'm gonna interrupt. you.
Okay,
You
so
go right ahead.
okay, so the example I'm gonna give is there's a lot of different things, but the one that we're talking about is like yeet hay, and yeet hay is like basically foods that are like, dude, the word I use is yeet hay, so it's so hard to describe it, but it's like fried foods
Are
or
hot.
like foods that are spicy
Okay.
or like things like that like increase your temperature maybe.
And is
I
this like a
guess.
spiritual temperature?
No.
No.
It's like a physical thing. So this relates to all of Chinese medicine. Like Chinese medicine is based around these principles
okay.
of like a balance in your body.
I'm learning so much right now.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is so much fun.
I literally just learned a bunch like today because
Oh,
we
really?
have a TCM person at like where I work. So then like yeah, so
Oh.
I learned a bit about this. But it's literally like I feel like the principle that my mom always uses is like stop eating fried stuff. It's hot. And like it's
Oh.
gonna put your body out of balance and you're gonna
Maybe
get
it's, like-
pimples and like
right.
whatever.
I'm thinking that has to do with like it raises your blood pressure.
Yeah, I feel like it's
So-
something to do with
Yeah.
there
and
is
it's
a
just, like-
medicinal part of this.
yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And colder foods like yeah, okay.
And popsicles will lower your temperature and lower your whatever,
right.
and then it'll affect your body that way. So that's the principle that guides, but it's basically just an excuse for my mom to say, don't eat any fast food, don't eat any
'Cause
fried
it's
stuff.
hot.
It's bad.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's hot. But it's a whole interesting perspective because there's also other things where it's like damp and dry.
right.
So if a person eats a lot of seafood, the Chinese medicine belief would be that there's a lot of damp energy in the body. So what
Okay.
you would do is you bring in a dry ingredient. So what a dry ingredient would be? Beans, a legume,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
And
like
then
a
that
legume.
balances out your body because what they believe is a lot of seafood would increase the fluid
Oh.
count in your body,
Okay.
and then because of that, you would also need something else to balance it out. So yin and yang, you know?
Oh.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so it's all about balance.
It's
like
all
the
about the
forest.
balance of the body.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
That's all.
That's
all
nuts.
I have.
Wow. Welcome back to the traditional Chinese medicine podcast episode
With,
number
featuring
one,
Tim
everybody.
and Andrew.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was great. That's a. I didn't think you were gonna go there. I thought you were gonna talk about like cryptids or Cthulhu or something like that.
Oh wait, I
But-
didn't even get into those
But
yet.
that's a good one. If you want to end it right there, I'd be totally okay with that.
I have
totally
one
okay.
more. I have one
Totally
more.
okay.
The Illuminati. That's it.
You believe in the
I believe
Illuminati?
in the No. Well, do I?
Hmm.
I don't know.
It's also weird. This could get really deep into like religion and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
let's just stay out of that. The only thing that I want to bring up is that there's known to be a group of people out there who actively believe like the forest from Star Wars is real. I've been told this multiple times. Like I think it's like a European thing or maybe like an oceanic region thing.
Of course, it's an ocean.
where there's a group of people out there that just like constantly are putting their hands to like a bottle or something like that, and they're just trying to get it to move through like the forest. That's the only like really weird sect of people that I can think of. Wait, why are you both laughing?
It's so dumb. Like what?
It's not. Okay,
It's in a movie. Like literally, people created
listen,
this.
okay, just because they're space wizards, we're also in space, okay? So, you know,
Oh, good.
I'm just
God.
saying.
Oh, it's bad. But okay, I mean, like, I respect. Actually, I don't.
You
but-
don't? I can't believe for such a Star Wars stan that
I-
you're gonna draw the line.
I will
at-
draw the line at fake religions.
You're gonna draw
okay,
the line of fake religions?
if
Oh, like
you-
the spaghettitarians or what? The pastatarians?
Yeah, and the people that believe the Force. Because, okay, like, let's be real here. Like, I
Sorry-
respect
sorry,
the
any
people.
pastatarians out there. I know the flying spaghetti monster is like your thing and your god or whatever, but
It might be real. I mean,
the flying
we don't
spaghetti
know.
monster. I mean, I could make it real in like 20 minutes if you
yeah.
really wanted.
I mean,
me
have
to.
you ever seen the flying spaghetti monster and Andrew in the same room? No. So you couldn't disprove it because it's never like you.
Sorry, everybody.
That's
I just
all
gotta
I'm
go
saying.
boil
You
some
know, like
pasta.
that's. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm
But-
just saying. Yeah, maybe that's my alter ego. Like that's my superhero.
Yeah.
I'm just the flying spaghetti monster is me. Like I'm just constantly covered in ragu and like
Ew!
the,
Oh god.
I throw like I'm made out of the wet spaghetti, but I throw the dry one so it's sticky.
Oh,
it-
yin and
it
yang.
hurts.
You feel me?
You know? Oh, yeah,
Wet
yeah.
and dry. You
I'm
know?
like Zeus.
Oh god.
I'm like Zeus with his thunderbolts, but instead of like Zeus, I'm like flying on like a wet spaghetti cloud, and my lightning is like the dry spaghetti sticks, and I'm just raining it down on people.
Primo.
Believe in, put your colander on your head. you believe, non-believer. You know? But yeah, so that's me. I'm flying spaghetti man.
I'll stop there.
anyone.
That's all
Okay.
I have.
That was great. I'm glad that we went through that.
That was fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's
Let's tap into the news now.
Okay.
So I want to get your thing out of the way first because this is your segment of news, and I want to let you have the floor. for
Wait.
this.
Oh, are we talking?
Yeah. Let's do that one first, and then I'll get into because I have the other things written down to be
Okay.
easier for me. But I want because your things would probably be more fresh, right? So
Yeah.
you should take it from here.
Wait, can you hand me that?
Oh, do you need this?
Yes, I do need it.
Here, wait. Take it off the coat. There we go. I'm handing Tim my TSM jersey for some reason. Oh, there it is.
Does
right
it
there.
show? My face is not important here.
Okay.
So I just want to pay respect.
This
One of my
is so weird in the
heroes.
video. It's just you holding up a shirt and like a disembodied voice talking. Okay, go ahead.
To one of my heroes, one of my childhood heroes. He retired today officially.
Oh,
TSM Bjergsen. I'm so sad, and this is a day of sadness for me.
can we? Do you want to have like a 1 sec? Because this is a podcast.
I should
you're
have
not
probably
supposed to be-
explained this. Yeah.
This is not. This is like a podcast, and we're supposed to constantly be talking. But let's just have a microsecond of silence for
Oh,
TSM
yes.
version. Okay, ready?
I agree.
Set, go. Okay, Tim, ready? You want to talk about it?
That was too short, man.
Okay,
Respect the
here.
legend. Wait, 10 seconds.
What, 10 seconds
Okay,
of silence?
fine. 3 seconds.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm assuming that was 3 seconds.
Yeah, I
That was great.
reflected a lot in that period of time.
Oh, okay, yeah. I really thought about what he meant to us in our society. We truly live in a society.
Oh, man.
All right, Tim, take it away.
But it's such a, and I obviously I don't want to like talk about this and like not have people relate to what I'm feeling,
Okay.
because it would seem just like me talking about something that's really dumb and like nobody understands what I'm talking about. Like, oh, hee haw, it's just a dude that like
Hee-haw.
retired, you know.
Hee haw.
But like honestly, like when I was growing up, and it still is, like League of Legends is like a big part of like my hobbies and like my interests.
Yeah, you're still
right?
growing.
And it's like a lot of social connection for me, like,
Mhm.
and it's really fun. Like I like to. So Bjergsen is a professional player in one of the leagues in North America that I like to watch a lot. So
He's been part of like one of the number one
Yeah.
teams for a long time.
and he's basically what we would call, at least I would call, the Michael Jordan of like the North American League. Or like one of the best
Really?
players to ever do it in the North American League, and like not globally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And,
But
yeah, right.
yeah, so like when I was growing up,
Also, let's make a clarification. The North American League of Legends teams and that sort of like championship is like the Euro ball of basketball, and like Korea and China are like the NBA. Let's just put that out there. So I just want to make that clear.
yeah, we are
Okay.
a tier below.
It's
for
like
sure.
switched in terms of video games when it comes to tradition and in traditional sports. Like who you would think would be good is like it's switched internationally.
yeah.
Anyways, go
Yeah.
ahead.
But yeah, he was a really iconic player, and when I first started actually really getting into League,
Mhm.
he was, I would say, probably undoubtedly the best player
Really?
that was playing at the time
Okay.
in that league.
Okay.
So to see him kind of retire is almost like a part of me, like, I don't want to
End of
say
an era.
die, but like a part of me has grown up.
It's like closing the chapter
Yeah.
off, signing
Beca-
it off.
Because like he was talking about it, he's like he's been playing for 8 years now.
Wow.
And if you rewind 8 years of us, like 2012, like I was in like middle school,
Right.
and I was like just getting into middle school,
Right.
and like learning about these hobbies and like looking at things that, oh, like I don't just enjoy traditional sports, I enjoy this new thing
yeah,
that's
dude.
growing. And like to see him retire like makes me really sad, but it also like shows me how far we've come in a way, like how much time has passed.
Yeah. What a crazy like journey and ride.
Yeah, what a
it's
crazy
been.
journey. And I saw a picture of him today, and it was like somebody else posted a picture of him, and I was like, oh, like how far we've come. And
Uh-huh.
it was his old like teammate
Yeah.
back when he just started,
Wow.
and he was like a little kid on this dude's back, like
Really?
piggyback, and like
Wow.
just smiling. And like you see him now, and he's like a full grown man, like he has
He's
a beard and everything.
yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
and
like the
it's-
leader of the team, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. So
Wow.
it's so surreal, and like I feel like I want to respect him, and like he was such a big part of me growing up.
Absolutely,
Like the
dude.
culture that I experienced was
Yeah.
because of him, and like this whole thing and like video games. It
I
really
agree.
impacted me. So
Yeah.
that's all I have. Rest in peace, Bjergsen.
He's not dead. He's
He-
just retiring from the
Bro,
NALCS.
good
He's
as
not
gone.
dead. Tim made it sound like he was dying or is dead, but he's not. I guess I guess his IGN is dead. Right? Like his
Yeah.
in-game name is
He's
dead.
retired.
He's retired.
His
Like
number is
he's not
retired.
on the Rift anymore, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So,
man, that's so sad.
I guess in a sense, do you think NA servers will have like a Rip Bjergsen?
they should. At least I
Like a
think in the
banner?
LCS, his jersey should hang up there, and like they should
Oh,
like almost retire his name.
That's weird. I didn't think about that. Like because
Yeah.
NALCS plays pretty much in the same stadium, right? Like all the
Yeah,
teams pretty much-
exactly.
So it's not like your franchise has their own stadium where, like for instance, like the NBA, where you can hang these Hall of Famers or whatever
Yeah, and all
Right.
their championship banners are like all the different teams have banners, and they're hung in the same place.
in the same stadium. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to have maybe not a Hall of Fame Well, maybe it might
Maybe
be time
actually,
for that.
yeah,
It
that
might
would
be
make
time for that
sense.
because League just turned 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
So it could be about time. Right, hit us up if you ever want guys on your creative team. I'm just saying
Yo, I
we're
would
literally
live for
bouncing
that.
ideas right now.
Bro.
But
Hall of
yeah,
Fame.
I understand. I can sympathize and I can relate to that.
Cause this is a dude that like he should be on the Hall of Fame because he's won 5 titles.
Yeah.
Or like 6. I forgot the amount, but like
Wasn't it like 7 trophies?
Or
How
yeah,
many-
search
hold
it
on.
up, search it up. It's a
Bjergsen
ridiculous amount. Like
number of trophies.
like when I say Michael Jordan of the North American League, like it
Dude,
makes sense.
that's crazy. He's won $221,000 in prize money.
Bro, he probably makes so much money too. Like if we're being real here, he also owns a part of the team. I don't know if you know that.
Wait, what?
He has ownership stake of TSM.
What?
The thing. Yeah.
He has like part like the enterprise.
Mm-hmm. He's a
Okay,
part
wait, I'll
owner
count
of
it out
TSM.
right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 championships.
So 2014 is his first win. I think that's summer split.
Yeah.
And then he wins IEM.
Yeah, a world title, like an international tournament.
Okay. And then he wins spring 2015.
He
Summer
lost
2000
summer, or did he win summer 2015?
No.
He lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Spring. It's not even on here. I don't think. Yeah. He wins NALCS summer 2016.
Yeah.
Spring 2017. Summer 2017.
Yeah.
And then
Didn't win for a
didn't win
while.
for many years.
Summer
then
2020.
Summer 2020 is his final win. So wow, I mean that's nuts. I like how on all the sites it still says active, but I guarantee you.
No.
Also, it says one of his signature champions is Zed, but that's not true at all. Should be Zillion. Anyway.
Oh my dude, you weren't around for the Bjergsen Zed days. Those were
Really?
He was insane on that
Wow.
champion. But
Bizarre.
I'll stop talking about.
Okay,
those.
cool. Rip Bjergsen. Do you want to hang his jersey up in honor?
Oh my goodness.
Where
Wait,
is it?
would
Right
you
here.
do that?
I'll do it. Yeah.
You
yeah.
do it.
Wow. Okay, so here's the honorary hanging.
Legend.
Buddy. This audio makes literally no sense for anyone watching.
If he sees this, Bjergsen, I am your greatest fan.
See, we have our little tap hall of
Yeah, the Black Panther as well.
Yeah,
Bill
dude.
Gates.
Bill Gates.
What the? And
Harrison Ford, I guess, technically as well, and Mulan. Yeah. Okay, this will symbolize because this was just like something we were talking about, but this will symbolize.
Now it
Now it
symbolizes
symbolizes
him.
Bjergsen. Okay.
It does.
It had really no meaning besides we're both into esports in the very first episode that we did.
Yeah.
But this is Bjergsen now. Okay.
I'm so sad.
Make it
right
clear
now.
for everybody.
Yes.
Okay. So the second bit of news that I have, we have 2 kind of big Earth things to talk about. So the first one is something that I'm very excited about.
Okay.
Spider-Man 3. Now this is not the first Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, but the Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland. It's begun production.
Oh, really?
Yes. And what's bizarre is that it has a little relation to Tobey Maguire.
What?
Because
Is he in it?
with the reintroduction of, I mean, it's pretty common knowledge now, Electro's coming back. Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro. And
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
heard
people were wondering, well, why is Jamie Foxx coming back to play Electro? You know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does that hint at Andrew Garfield coming back?
Multiverse.
So would that also imply Tobey Maguire? Who knows, right? And then another
Oh.
interesting bit of thing is that Benedict Cumberbatch is signing on to Spider-Man 3 after Multiverse of Madness. So it's
Oh.
implied that in sort of like the canon, I suppose, the events of Multiverse of Madness could impact the rest of the MCU, or more just like talking about the next movie over, Spider-Man 3. And he could have a direct role in either bringing those characters together or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Now, all of these things are just rumors, but they're highly speculated. But the problem is, a Sony representative came out recently and said, and were approached by ET Canada. Good job, Canadians, I guess, for getting this.
Ugh.
But the Sony guy said, those rumors. Fuck, sorry, I can't read. Those rumored castings are not confirmed.
Get the hell out of here.
But I'll say it again. Those rumors castings are not confirmed.
Not confirmed, not denied.
So they're not denied.
Yes.
Outright. So because they would say something like, "Oh, they're not happening" or whatever, right? So
Wow.
now this is really interesting because we could have our own Spider-Men. Like, and you see those fan trailers all the
Yeah.
time, the Spider-Men,
Mm.
right? And
Yeah.
stuff like that. And Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come back, you know, helping Tom Holland out. It'd be really cool because I know a lot of people hate on the Amazing Spider-Man movies, like the ones with Andrew Garfield, but I really like them. I
Mm.
like him as Spider-Man. I don't
Yeah,
necessarily
he was
like
decent.
those movies, but he's like a pretty good Spider-Man. I know he skateboards and like he's like kind of too cool to be Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but
he's like the best looking.
He's like the
Spider-Man
best
of all
looking one.
time.
He's like the most athletic. He's like the most
6-pack.
yeah, he's the coolest one out of all of them. He's like kind of swaggy too, which is weird for Peter Parker, but he's a good actor playing Spider-Man. And I like how
Yeah.
fun he was. I thought he had the best quips too. Like, you know how
Mm.
Spider-Man's supposed to be like joking around with the villains while they're
Yeah,
fighting. I
yeah.
thought he had the best version of that.
Mm.
Because Tobey Maguire was kind of like not and Tom Holland is like he's good, but he's not Andrew Garfield. Because I've seen Andrew Garfield do it.
Oh, the Tom Holland stands are gonna
Yeah, Tom Holland stands-
destroy
I'm gonna
you.
get caught up in
Tear you to
something.
shreds.
But Tom Holland is definitively probably the best written Spider-Man out of all
I
three.
think so. I agree too.
Because I mean, Spider-Man 3, the original Spider-Man 3 with like him dancing,
Emo
like,
Peter Parker.
emo Peter Parker, going up, get on up, you know, like one of those. But Tobey Maguire is like the first Spider-Man, the first comic book represented hero that was like accurately represented. You know what I mean? And this like the suit was really good, and you know we had, you know, some Batman and Christopher Reeve's Superman, which is arguably pretty accurate. But I thought the original Spider-Man costume with Tobey Maguire in it was the most comic book representative. Okay, so having all three of them back would be, or having the two older Spider-Man back would be really cool.
That would be
right?
so insane. Yeah.
I just want to think. I just want your opinion on like this kind of. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of, you know. Like, do you have any like? Are you excited about this? Are you
I
not?
am. I'm. First of all, I'm really excited about actually the Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, okay.
Because multiverse. Well, I was kind of bummed out because I feel like, did you know like Scott Derrickson was gonna direct?
Yeah, and
the
wasn't
Doctor
he like
Strange?
a horror guy?
He's a horror film guy, and
Yeah.
I would
Kill
have
for
killed
that.
to see Doctor Strange in a horror movie. Like that's so insane to me.
And also, it's like a different type of movie from like the generic MCU formula.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So it would have been like pretty different, like probably for like more mature audiences because
Or
it's, like,
even if it
pretty
wasn't,
scary.
it'd be like more. It'd be more out there.
Yeah.
So it'd be cooler
Weird.
that way.
Yeah. But I was really excited for that. But I guess I am still excited for it
Mhm.
in a different way now
Okay.
because if you think about it, yeah, it's kind of insane because why would they bring back Electro?
Yeah.
Especially after like the reception for that movie,
It wasn't
which
very good at all.
was not very good.
Yeah, and Jamie
And-
Foxx coming back as Electro. So
Exactly.
It's like it hints at a lot, right?
So like multiverse implies that there's multiple versions of one thing, right?
Yeah.
So
and that's how they could get past maybe bringing back some characters too.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a different Iron Man, even though people probably wouldn't want to see that. Like also, you know, if they don't find a way to write Black Panther out of the movies, you know, this is a good route for them. And I think this was
Mm.
probably planned all along. Because can you imagine trying to get Tobey Maguire back after like how much
Yeah.
he was memed, and Andrew Garfield too?
yeah.
But I know Andrew Garfield wants to come back as Spider-Man. Like he genuinely
Oh.
wants that to be back in.
Mhm.
But I think getting them back in it was probably like a lot of, you know, phone calls and meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it probably was a long time coming. So before any of the like you know, they say they pre-plan like a lot of these movies, right?
Yeah.
So they probably like thought about way in advance. But what I have some concerns about this,
Okay.
like
Mhm.
possibly, because there's a lot of big names in this, right?
Yeah.
And whenever you have a movie with big names in it, I feel like, you know, besides like Avengers where it's meant to be a team movie, but
Yeah.
this is Tom Holland's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And if it's gonna be majority focused on him, and maybe not the other two guys, you know,
Mhm.
and the fact that maybe they come in the last act, they help him do the final battle, right? That
Mhm.
would be a fan service thing, but then it kind of squanders the whole idea of bringing them back in the first place. Because why would you just bring them back for the last 30 minutes of a movie? like for the end battle.
I
Or
get what
whatever,
you're
right?
saying. Yeah.
So I think if they're gonna do this, I think this should be like a start. They should start it with some kind of multiverse. Like it should literally right off the back of Doctor Strange's thing, and then all of a sudden, like Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, like Electro pops up somehow,
Yeah.
and then the Sinister Six forms because remember Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that was the ending scene of
right.
the second one.
The second one from Far From Home, right? Spoilers. I'm sorry. That movie came out like 4 years ago. What are you guys doing if you haven't seen it? But the point I'm trying to make is that like it'd be cool. It could be done really well, but
Yeah.
there could be, in terms of actors and scheduling and stuff like that, it could get really messy. So I just really hope they do it well. That's all. That's all I really had for that. I'm excited
think
for
so.
it. How about you?
I guess I have another point is I think they can kind of learn from, like, in terms of character base, like what into the multiverse, is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, the Miles
animated
Morales
movie?
one, the animated one.
They had so many different
Moving
variations
pieces.
of Spider-Man,
Mhm.
but throughout the whole film, you know for sure that Miles Morales is the main character of that movie, and
Yeah.
he's focused on, that's the focal point, right?
That's true.
So to approach it in that manner, where it's like, oh, you do have Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you do have Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, but this is a movie about Tom Holland Spider-Man and his journey.
Yeah.
So you can maybe start the movie of him like falling into different multiverses, and then like from his perspective, you see all these things.
Oh, I see.
And
what
that's
you're
how
saying.
you would focus it around that character.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
too.
because ultimately this is his franchise.
that was
still.
that's what I'm also getting
and
at,
it's a
too.
valid concern because some movies like they might do like an Endgame where it's like, oh, everyone's
Yeah, but
the
then
same.
everything's and then it becomes like it dilutes Endgame because
Exactly.
now every
Yeah.
movie's an Endgame.
exactly.
So
Yeah, every movie
like,
has an Endgame.
like when's the beginning game or whatever, the middle game or whatever. When's mid game?
When Star Wars tries to replicate the Endgame scene by doing the Rise of Skywalker,
Unbelievable ships, dude. Yeah. Oh, look at all the ships we got. Remember this ship? Bet you don't, because it was barely featured. And do you remember the ship that everybody likes? Yeah, it's in the corner.
I
You
hate that
can
movie.
barely. You remember the ship from Rebels that everyone likes? Yeah, it's in the
there's
back.
a little dot
Dot right there. That's an Easter egg for you.
Nice.
Anyways. But yeah, Spider-Man. That's a good transition into our last bit of news.
You caught it. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All
See,
right.
we're getting better. I know we were a little rusty coming in this first couple of minutes, but I feel like we're getting the groove back. I'm
Turn the
back.
sign on.
Back in the New York groove. I'm back. Back in the new. That was our Spider-Man dance.
Emo Spider-Man. I
Yeah,
love
thank
that.
you. Tim
That
can
character-
really represent it more than I can.
Best character of all
Here,
time.
I'll take the jacket off. We'll do it at the end. We'll do an emo tap out. But here's my last bit of news. We have Star Wars Corner. This first is like a small little thing. The first episode of Mando season 2 comes out on October 30th. So, what I would like you to do is, watch it on that night, and then be prepared to talk about it the next day. Because the 31st is Halloween, and when we tape podcasts, on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought it'd just be good to point out to you that, hey, it's streaming soon. Everyone go watch it because we're going to be talking about it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
I
we
will do
usually
that.
upload like a day or two after. So you have time to watch it. But I'm saying for us too, we should watch it and then talk about it.
We should.
And then
Yeah,
just be nerds about it. Right. Did you also notice I put up like a clone?
I noticed that when I was overlooking our Hall of Fame, and I was like, wait, I thought it was a Nerf gun. And I was like, what? And then I
It's
saw
like
the Imperial. sign.
Yeah. No, it's actually a Republic, like a clone trooper gun.
Oh.
I also, speaking of things that are like here and there,
Oh right.
I don't remember last week. Remember how I talked to you about the Transformers gun that I could fist? I found it.
Wait, show it off.
So little backstory. So on my YouTube channel, this is also going to be a little plug for me. I shouldn't do it right away. I don't want to ruin the surprise. So on my YouTube channel, youtube.com, if you search, I don't have a custom URL. I'm not at 100 subs yet. Get me to 100.
Come on, man. Let's
Get
go.
this man to 100. But if you search up Cabbage Corgi, on YouTube, that's my channel. I did a toy review
I
for
saw that. Yeah.
for like some Power Rangers Zords that I had lying around, and I was looking for all the different parts of them because I wanted to assemble them all to make sure they're all together. So I was looking through all my old toys and stuff like that, and I found the thing that I was talking to you about last week, which is this. So this is like an Optimus Prime gun that I got at a Toys R Us with my dad. I thought it was just the coolest thing ever, and he bought it for me. It was
So
probably like
lit.
$40 at the time. Like, can you imagine? Like feel how heavy this thing is, man. Like, just like kind of distribute weight a little bit. Like, feel how heavy that is.
Yeah, that is.
It's
a really
like,
big
and it's got like
package.
a magnet bit too. So it's probably a lot of money. Anyways, so here I'll show you the mechanism. So remember how last week I told you I could fist it and then it would turn into a gun? So I wasn't
Yeah.
lying. Ready? So just watch. It's gonna be kind of loud too.
Oh, that's insane! What?
Look at that. See,
Sir.
and you guys were laughing at me when I,
I
said
mean,
it.
I'm still laughing.
Look at
that. It's still. You fisted the truck to,
Look
to
at that. And it
transform
also
into a
shoots
gun.
bullets too, but I don't have the bullets anymore, so I can't like shoot anything. But it shot bullets is what I'm trying to say.
It's
Look at
lit.
it. It's pretty cool, right? It's got like the Optimus Prime hand and stuff like that. I don't know. I thought
I
it
would have
was
shot. I would have shot at my parents in the kitchen, like while they were cooking, so many times if I had that.
And then Tim's like, Tim, stop that. I'm not Tim. I'm Optimus Prime.
Oh,
Autobots roll out. And then he like
and
runs
you.
into the next room.
Autobots roll out.
Tim, you get your sorry little butt over here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Autobots don't listen to their parents. And then they just runs off. Transformers don't have parents, Mom.
Ugh.
But yeah,
Ugh.
anyways, that's that. I'll put it up somehow. I don't know.
Amazing.
But anyways, so I was Mando. Also the second bit is just sort of like a little spice, to add to the Star Wars lore. So we got some like Snoke answers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Explain.
So apparently there's this new Star Wars book coming out, called like the lore book or something. It's like one of the, you know how those books are like it's called like the Star Wars Encyclopedia or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes those books are printed before the movies come out, so that way you get like when the movie comes out, they're ready for you to look, like thumb through and like, oh, that's, you know, the Starkiller base. Whatever.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then so this is a new one that's being published. It was like this is like a news from a couple weeks ago, but it's called the Star Wars book, and it says expand your knowledge of a galaxy far, far away. Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
Anyways, so they have an entry on Snoke, and I'll read it to you. So we get sort of like who he is without I guess they wrote it in, like this is supposed to be canon. So here we go. It's possible Snoke himself may not know his true nature. Snoke is a strandcast, an artificial genetic construct concocted by the resurrected Darth Sidious to be his proxy in power. Snoke has free will, but his actions and goals are still orchestrated by Sidious. So clearly, this was written to make up for the fact that 8 doesn't make sense. 7,
8,
they
9.
built something in 7, didn't make sense in 8, and then they just got to tie it in 9. Right?
Yeah.
So it's bizarre because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in the sense that they have to use like third-party media,
books
all
the time
to try and like put the pieces together and like figure out how these movie directors are supposed to make the story work, and then these creative producers at Disney and Lucasfilm are like, what are we even doing?
Ugh,
It's
terrible.
So that's just that. I wanted to let that be known. Does that change anything about the characters or how you feel about those movies in general?
It changes nothing because
changes nothing?
I expected this to happen after
Yeah.
they released a cluster F of a story and just like a disgrace of a story that makes no sense
Right.
because they chose to have 3 directors for 3 films that are supposed to be continuous.
Well, 2 different directors they planned to have 3,
yes,
but
yeah,
they just
yeah.
ended up being
But in the original plan, it was
3.
right? And
Yeah.
it's just like you think about it logistically, and it's like, how the hell did you come to this conclusion?
yeah.
Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly why the movies failed. And you have these dumb like narrative fixes, like Band-Aid fixes,
Yeah.
that
are
are
just like
oh,
so surface level. It's just supposed to get you from point A to B.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like redo it. It's basically like just, and it's not really info that is new because we see in the film that it's like as we're leading up to the reveal of Darth Sidious, you see a bunch of Snoke bodies in tanks, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like this is the explanation you want to give. Okay, he was a pawn the whole time. Like it was me the whole time. It's Darth Sidious.
I don't know. It's stupid. Remember when like we all thought it was like an Anakin
Yeah,
face because
yeah.
we like his face looked like Anakin or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember the days before.
Like a Mace Windu.
Yeah, like when 7 was like had just come out and we had all these answers that didn't have
Yeah, all
any
these
that didn't have
theories.
anything, right? And people were speculating like, is Mace Windu still in this
Yeah.
era? Is
Mhm.
that Anakin Skywalker's clone, or does someone's trying to clone Anakin? What's
Yeah.
going on, right? Like why is this lightsaber still around? It's like all this stuff, man, that could have been, I don't know, just wasted potential.
And what frustrates me is that it's so evident in the last film that it was such a far cry from what they wanted to do in 7.
Mhm.
Because like you have like Palpatine coming back and it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, why is he back? He was very clearly dead. It makes the whole story work for the original 3 films
yeah.
that Anakin kills that guy so he redeems himself.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
now
yeah,
it's
and,
like, oh, but
1
I'm
through
not
6
dead.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
Yeah.
it really just is frustrating as
Like,
a fan.
now 6 is not, it means less.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
Totally
that's
agree.
crazy. I mean, I just want to bring that up. I'm sorry to reawaken the inner Star Wars hater that you are. I
Scratching.
mean, we love Star Wars.
No,
Don't get us
I
wrong.
love
We
Star Wars. Yeah.
It's just that like the people in charge of it may not love it as much as we do. I don't know.
I'm a 21-year-old dude, and like I work and I like go to school, and like this is still like my life. Like like
We
I
love Star
talk
Wars.
about it like it's something that
yeah,
I think
and
about
we'll
all the time,
love Star Wars forever. It's just that
for sure. Yeah.
this our trilogy, our generation's trilogy,
Yeah.
is the worst. out
It
of
was
those three.
supposed to be ours.
Yeah, it was supposed to be our trilogy. Like I don't know, man. It's just, it's. I can't believe it's worse than the prequels in some elements.
Good God, yes, I agree with that, and that just makes me cringe when I think about it.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I hate it.
Anyways, that was that bit of news. I know, way to end it on a bummer. I'm sorry, but that's
was
all
so
I had
sad.
for news, and technically all I had for the whole thing
For the podcast.
for the podcast. We've been going pretty solid now, so I think it's about time. We're gonna
Yay.
film our bonus episode now, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Click wherever, or make sure you have that queued up or wherever on your streaming thing, or on. And maybe this might be one to watch on video. We have a YouTube channel, so
You should probably watch this.
you should
one
watch
on
the
video, I
video
think.
on this. But
Yeah,
if you want to
yeah.
listen to us just ASMR some food and talk about it, be my guest, I guess. I don't know. All right, cool. So that's all for us. This has been Tap. I'm Andrew,
I'm Tim.
and should we tap out?
We
Let's
should
do an
tap
emo
out.
Tap out. Let me
How do
take
we
off-
emo tap out?
Yes, let's here. I'm glad that I wore black. There we go.
Oh, we're matching.
Yeah,
Let's
I know,
go.
right? Isn't this nice? I'm really into to wearing like one color nowadays. I don't know. Like just black. I guess it's just black too. It's not really other colors. Just
Oh,
red, or
I
just
love black.
just tangerine.
Because
Anyways,
it
okay.
represents how I feel.
Yes.
inside.
All right. Stay tuned for next week, everybody. Halloween episode, and also stay tuned for the bonus podcast.
Thanks for
Ish.
listening.
Thanks
/
for
watching.
listening. We love you. Yeah. Listen to us. Goodbye.